Hi everyone, welcome to InfoSec Train. Today we have our cloud expert Mr. Amit Pandey to share the basics of cloud computing. What is cloud and how different is it from cloud computing?
So cloud just means renting the infrastructure. It's like your Ola and the Uber. Instead of purchasing your respective vehicle, for which the upfront cost is huge, then you have to give your insurance, tax, and a lot of things. What you do is that normally, if you want to go from point A to the point B, you just book a cab and you just take a ride and reach your destination, make the payment, and that's it. So you're renting up an already established infrastructure. This is exactly what happens up into the cloud. Instead of InfoSec Train purchasing up a server and updating the software, hiring up a team, and all the things, what they do is that they utilize already pre-built infrastructure of the AWS. So already AWS has $1 billion infrastructure across the globe, India, US, Japan. And as per our own convenience and the need of the client, what we can do is that we can just rent the infrastructure as long as we want. If my client requirement is that we want to have a server for 5 days, we can just have for the 5 days, and then after that cancel it out, make the payment, and that's it. If the another client requirement is that we want to have the server for 2 years continuously, so what you can do is you can rent it for 2 years, make the payment, and that's it. So you don't make any purchase, you rent everything, right? So especially the servers, the databases, everything. So this is what we have into the respective cloud. And then we have the confusion which comes up that, okay, how does the cloud is different from the cloud computing? The cloud is, you can think about an example of the Google Drive. When you're using up or uploading up the data into the Google Drive, that's a perfect example of a cloud because the data is not getting stored in your local machine. It's getting uploaded over someone else's infrastructure. You have to trust that platform that he will not misuse your photos or the data that you're uploading into it. Now, cloud computing is an advanced version of it. Now you are using that infrastructure to not only store the data, but to also do the processing as well. The best example of cloud computing is ChatGPT. ChatGPT doesn't run in a local machine. We just write a prompt, and through the internet, through the network, it reaches to the OpenAI, the ChatGPT parent organization, data center, and there they have massive, powerful systems which do all the calculations, all the computing, which our local machines are not capable of doing it. So they do all the processing and everything, and then through the respective internet, we get a respective response back. That's called cloud computing. Cloud means rented infrastructure. Computing means the machine which can do the prospective processing. And this is also increasing it up. There is a respective domain we have, which is the gaming industry, and they are completely shifting it to this or utilizing this respective cloud computing platform. Because what the problem the gaming industry is right now facing it up is that the hardware constraint. Let's suppose, for example, I just want to purchase or run a very expensive software or a game. I purchase and I go to the market and purchase the hardware. But the problem is that that hardware is going to get old or outdated in a couple of months. And that's going to be a big problem. So in the next 6 months, when a new update of the software is launched, my system would not be able to run it up, even if it's very expensive. So what is happening it up is that the gaming industry is now switching to cloud computing. Instead of that games or the heavy softwares running it up in your local machines, they will be running it up over the someone else infrastructure like the AWS. So there it will be running it up. And then you are just controlling the character or the element of the software from your local machine. So in that particular case, your hardware doesn't matter, right? So this is coming it up, and this is in the couple of years, 2 or 3 years, it's going to be a very big thing. So every tech giant, especially Sony, Microsoft, is betting big on it. And this is what the cloud computing is. So cloud just means storing up the data. Cloud computing means that that infrastructure is also now used up for databases, for computational things.
Okay, up until now, I thought cloud and cloud computing are same. Anyway, so what is EC2 instance and how can organizations benefit from it?
EC2 instance is a respective server into the AWS. And that is just like a normal server, but in that case, you are not owning it, you are renting it up. It's on the AWS data center. So you, through the network, through the internet, is connecting to it, managing it, installing any kind of an application inside that, and that's it. The only difference is that you don't pay for it. You don't pay in advance for it. You don't create the infrastructure. You don't worry about the physical security or any of the other components. It's someone else's property, and he is giving it up on a rent. You are utilizing it up as long as you want. It's called on demand. And till the time, let's suppose you want it for 4 months or 4 years, that's completely up to you. You'd work with it with that respective instance, EC2 instance, which means rented infrastructure. You make the payment and that pays well. So the difference is that organizations, if they want to save the cost, instead of going into the respective market, purchasing up the hardware for themselves, what they can do is they can rent it out. The benefit is, first is when you purchase a respective machine, you have to give it up a physical security so that someone does not approach it and physically damages it up. That's the thing. So when you are renting up a respective hardware, that's not your respective responsibility. It's the responsibility of the AWS. First thing. The second benefit here is that the power, the cooling, all again is the responsibility of the AWS or the respective vendor. I does not have to worry about who is going to cool down the respective server or who is going to provide the backup. None of it. So that's what we have into it. This is how the organizations can benefit when they opt for EC2 instead of building their own server from the scratch.
Okay. And how does the security group protect the resources in the AWS?
Security group is one of the critical firewalls we have into the AWS. In AWS, generally, we have five different kinds of firewalls: security group, NACLs, network firewall, WAF and Shield, and DNS firewall. Security group is a very simple, straightforward firewall which protects your load balancer, server, and the databases. So any traffic which wants to hit your respective server, it needs to go through your respective security group. And you can customize it. If you think that, okay, you know what, I want to block all the HTTP traffic from any of the IP, you can go to the respective security group and make a respective rule, inbound rule, and it's going to block the respective traffic from it up as well. So it's really protect your respective resources. But there are some limitations with the security group. The limitation is that it only protects one or two individual resources. If you have thousands and thousands of resources, one security group is not going to be enough, right? So you need to protect the entire subnet. And in that particular case, you need other kinds of firewall. Another problem with the security group is that deny. Security group, you cannot deny it up or cannot block an IP. Let's suppose there is a malicious IP which is routinely on a regular basis is kind of performing a DDoS attack over the respective infrastructure of the InfoSec train, and I want to block it. I want to go to the security group, which is a firewall, and I want to make sure that when the traffic comes from this respective IP, it should be blocked. I cannot achieve it up. In that particular case, I have to rely upon other kinds of firewalls, which is like NACLs, network firewalls, and there I can go and create a deny rule. I can say this is the IP, and if the traffic hit up, any kind of traffic, SSH or RDP or HTTP, any kind of traffic comes from this particular IP, block it. But security group cannot do it up as well. So security group provides very basic security. And another thing to keep in mind when dealing with security group is that when you launch your respective server, security groups automatically gets created with it by default. But you can customize it, you can change it up as well. So security group, just a basic simple firewall. But if you want more advanced capabilities like protecting the entire architecture, protecting the subnet, protecting from SQL injection kind of things, then you have to rely upon another or different kinds of firewalls that we have into the AWS, like WAF and Shield, then like DNS firewalls, these kind of things.
Thank you, Amit, for your time and for sharing such valuable insights. Stay tuned with InfoSec Train for more such videos.
Yeah, thank you.